Hello, hello. We are live. We're gonna see what we can do today trading. As you can see, I'm up $230 right now. Looking for a couple more trades. It's 10 o'clock, a little after 10 o'clock. I want to, while we're waiting on a trade here, let you know kind of what my chart, what's going on here. So basically, you've got a 5-minute chart. If you watch some of my previous videos, 2-minute chart is also something I use. I'm slowing it down a little bit to a 5-minute today just to kind of get a feel for everything. I'm trading my Apex account. I'm going to give an update on my Top Step account in another video, but basically I was up 1,400 Monday, took 2 max loss days, so that knocked me out of that combine, and I was kind of using 2-minute charts. That's one thing that led me to move to a 5-minute, slow things down. I'm getting a signal right here. This is the ultimate AI signal to go long. And I say this is live, so let's see what we can do with this. Kind of the way we look at this is possibly going long at the close. I like to wait especially using it with the NASDAQ. I'll wait a little bit a lot of times, unless it's just in a real good trade location, to see what kind of bounce I'm getting. There's a pivot point right there too. If you look, this pivot point right there, maybe this where you see it a little better. There's a pivot point right there. It's a pivot point midline, really, but it's it's about just, equally important. All right, I'm going to get in. I'm going to get in long here. Probably just one contract. If I can see a little. Okay, it's getting some support. I'm going to see if we can get back up to here. I'm going to keep my stop tight. I like to scale out. All right, 280. I'm going to get out one there. I'm going to let the other one run, hopefully. I want to make sure I have profit in this trade. Let's see if we get a pop. A lot of times you'll notice after 10 o'clock, you'll get a reversal. And we've been trending down. I know I say reversal, it don't necessarily mean, it could be a reversal, it could be a pullback. So, a reversal would be getting, and doing like a V bottom reversal and going all the way back up. And it could do that. But I'm looking for at least a pullback. And look at this, we're up good on this trade. I'm just going to follow it with my stop. I don't want to give up much profit, but if it hits my target, great. Right there at my target. Right there at my target. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's all right. So we see we got the signal to go long. These little dots are an ATR stop, and I really like them. If you can see here, these dots. And in a downtrend, a lot of times you'll see like right here. I had one of these signals to go long on this candle. And this signal repaints. The squares do not repaint, but these big triangles repaint. These dots do not repaint. The only thing that repaints on my chart are these big triangles. But just because it repaints doesn't mean it was a loser necessarily. So I went long because it's a real similar scenario to right here. You had an inside bar, pushed down, but he was at some support. So what these dots will help you with, I went long here, and where did it go? It went to this ATR stop. A lot of times you'll see it go to this. You have these immediate dots above the price. Sometimes it'll pop up to the second kind of dot or row of dots back, and maybe that second level of support. These are just marking areas of support and areas of resistance. Support and resistance are really the same thing. And that's why it's so tricky. People's like, oh, just find support, find resistance. Well, they're the same. You have, you could be coming from up under here, and this is resistance, but it pushes through it. Comes back down and finds support right there where you was trying to get short and find resistance. So there's more to reading the chart than just support and resistance. And look at this thing go. The 20 EMA is way up here. It went to the 8. I'm happy, though, with my trade. I'm not worried about it. On another chart, this is a little cleaner chart. I've got another chart that has the volume profile, and we're right at a high volume node right here, which can be resistance. And the key is can be resistance. When you start trading like, oh, this is definitely support, this is definitely resistance, you're going to get sucked into a bias that you're going to eventually blow your account up with. We notice the support, we notice the resistance, but never get in your mind, oh, this has to hold, because the market doesn't ever have to do anything. It does what it does, and your job is to get smart enough, and I don't know, smart's not even the word, but basically look at enough price action to tell when the market's going according to your plan or it's not, and you got a ditch. And the quicker you can recognize it's going my way, the longer you'll hold the trade and you'll make more money. The quicker you can recognize this is not going my way and you get out earlier, the more money you're going to make, because you're going to lose better and you're going to win better. And there's a lot of times you can figure out how to win, but you don't know how to lose. So your losers are just as big or bigger than your winners. And then some people know how to lose, so they cut their losses quick, but they never hold on to winners. So they get chopped up by 1,000 cuts, taking small losses. That's why trading's hard. Trading is hard. That's why the reward is so big. You can literally make in a week what a lot of people make in a year. And I mean, if theoretically you can make in a day what a lot of people make in a year. So for something with that big of a reward, it's not going to be easy. If you're wanting to be a lawyer, you don't just show up and make $250,000 a year. You've got to go through, college, go through the bar exam, pass that, and it takes time. So if you think you're going to hop here and trade, think of it like you're going to medical school and you're going to be a surgeon. That's the timeline you need to be thinking, not I'm getting a job at Hotspot. Because this isn't, local convenience store gas clerk pay. It's doctor money. It can be. So you got to put in the time. You got to put in the effort. Figure out what works for you. And I'll tell you, you watch this channel. I'll tell you what works for me, but just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. But I hope to maybe point you in some right directions that you can educate yourself and maybe look at me as someone you can learn from my experiences, not necessarily learn from me directly as far as I'm going to tell you exactly when to trade, because that's not what this is about. I want to give you the tools so you know when to trade without someone else telling you. And that's what we're working on. I don't want, to be the typical, oh, I'm a market guru, I know everything, just follow my trades. Because that's, baloney. I want to try to show you how to design a plan that works for you and you know how to trade. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on the internet that's stubborn enough to be trying to do this for, 6-7 years. And I'm still improving, still getting better. So you see it ran up almost that 20 EMA. But you don't have to excuse my ADD. I jump around sometimes. But some people think like that, so maybe you'll gain. I want to get back to excuse me. I want to get back to my chart. So I had this here. I did make money on this trade. I was up 230 when I hit the record button. Here's what happened to lead up to that point. I was up. I went long. I followed my stop close. Got stopped out with just a little. It might have been $100. Then I saw it coming back down. And a lot of times you can get stopped out and get back in. So I got stopped out for profit, and I was looking for a place to re-enter. And I was thinking, you still got the support, still could run up. It was just catching some sellers right here. This ATR, and you got the 8 EMA acting as resistance. That's a sharp move down. So, and you got to be careful, especially with NASDAQ. If you're going to, this is a reversal, it's a means reversion trade, or, whatever you want to call it. But you're going against the trend. So when you're going against the trend, the reward's big, but the probability is low, especially if you don't get in the right spot. So it's important to recognize that and not try to hold on to it. So I got out. When it come back down. Got back in. You see this candle closed down here. Is it up? You got profit. Came down. Closed. And I noticed this little pop here. So I got in. Again, the trade did not work. I got out as quick as I could. If you look here, this is the beauty of this indicator. You got the front side trade and the back side trade. So I was in the front side, had the big triangle, looking for this move up. It didn't go like I planned. I got out. Overall, I was down. I was down like around $700. But here's the beauty: when this square right here tells me this candle's a breakout candle. If it goes over it, it's a breakout higher. If it goes under it, I'm looking to short. So when it broke under, I got out of my longs, and immediately, because I felt confident it was going to turn it down, and some news had came out. So I was like, this could be a decent move. Immediately, I get 2 contracts short, and by the time everything transpired, it was moving pretty quick. So I was short in here at these lows. Caught this ride down. Got out, and then I was up. I didn't catch all of it, obviously, but I caught enough to where, even though I had lost $600 or $700 in this long, I hadn't made enough to be up. I believe it was like 230 or so when I started this recording. So whatever, I was up when this video started. So I had basically 2 wins and 1 loss up on the day, over $200. That catches you up. So then I started the video as I was talking. We got the signal, took it, Now we're up 815. I like to try. I'm on this 50,000 combine. I like to try to make $1,500 in these combines because the profit target's 3,000. I don't have to. If the trades are not there, I'm not going to take them. That's the learning curve to this. Like when you make I made that trade and made $600. It's like, man, that feels good, and you want to get right back in. Or at least I do. And that's when, if you're too high, too on the highs, too high. I'm not talking about drug induced high, but there's a dopamine rush to trading. So it is a similar situation where you get high off a dopamine rush from getting that win, and you can make bad decisions from being emotionally high, emotionally up. And that's just as bad as making poor decisions because you're emotionally low. You got to be balanced. I could do a better job there. What I like is, prayer. Um, that's a beautiful thing. It can help you along and get your mind in a good spot. So I like to do that. So we're getting this signal short coming off. We got a high volume node here. You can't see it, but it's over here. And I try to keep this chart pretty clean that you guys are watching, so it's not. I don't like it too cluttered. But we had volume come in nicely. If you see here, increase in volume on the up. Decent volume. Yeah, this could be pretty decent. But that doggone pivot level, I think we could hit down here though. I might get in one. And I'm going to go ahead and get in one. See if we get down to that low right there. We've also got this ATR. Even though it's green, so we're flipped to more bullish on the ATR. That's just one side of the story. EMAs are saying lower. Price action is saying lower. But what could happen though is you get a bounce, then back down. So let's see what happens here. If it starts catching some support, I'm just going to get out, minimize my a loss or break even. All right, we're getting some movement down. There we go. Okay, I see you. All right, I'm going to follow this. Oh, we're getting that bounce. I'm just going to lock in my profit here. And there we go. All right. I was hoping to hit my target there, but this is what you learn. If you take these, if you're stopping out for profit, you're in good shape. If you're stopping out for profit, you're in good shape. Especially when you're just beginning. If you're making money, in a combine, real money, it doesn't matter if you're profitable trading and you're just starting, just keep doing what you're doing because you're overperforming most people that's trying to do this. So we still could come on down. Like I say, before I would get long, I'd be looking for it to at least get down here. I could always get back in short. I'm not going to. I'm up pretty nice on the day. So I'm not going to be that aggressive. We've got a little push down here, but look, I want you to look at this, what it's doing here. If it makes this higher low, you can see a pop because we came short of the 21 here. So you move down, up, strong push down, which can be an exhaustion move because you've got this move already down, broke the trend, tested the lows. And when a trend does that, it can be time to either go sideways or reverse. And it can go sideways, then make another leg down. You have to excuse my southern drawl. But it can go sideways, another leg down, sideways, up. But the more immediate thing that we're looking for when it has a trend, break a trend, test of lows, or a new low, we're looking for a possibility of a sideways to up move. And you've got, I can show you this. It kind of overshot. But you got, this trend here from at 8. This is an important candle, this 8:30 candle. I think it was PMI, but some news came out. But the 8:30 candle is an important one. Usually, almost every day, it does something. For whatever reason, the banks are doing some business at 8:30. And so we go a little overshoot, so break. And we, no surprise, here we come. That just trapped longs, and it just pushed. And really that's over pushed it. Okay, here. We got the square. So you can be thinking break out of this square is a possible trade. I'm just going to watch this one because we're at some support here. All this is support. And you'll find in every trade you take, there is a reason not to take it. So you can't let one reason not to take it stop you. But you need to have more reasons to take it than not to take it. And it worked. I mean, that trade would have worked for at least, I'd at least got break even on it. Maybe stopped out for some profit here, but we're just right into a lot of support, and you'll see it when it does this. You'll see it sometimes get some support at this low. And you notice it ran past it because what happened? People saying, oh, this is some support. I'm getting long here, picking bottoms. It ran those stops. Now it's going to go the direction that these people thought it would. And I've been these people a bazillion times. And it's not fun. So that was the front side of this square. Back side, you can follow an order. So if it breaks the high of this candle, whenever this candle closes, breaks the high of this candle, you can look for a long here. Okay? You can look for a long here. And I'll be honest, it's not a terrible place to be looking for a long. You just don't want to hop into a long for no reason because you can get busted. And it can hurt you pretty good. So volume is lightening up. This had pretty good volume. Had this sharp move up, and it kind of exhausted, hit the trend line, came back down. And you can draw different trend lines. And the key is keeping them, somewhat relatable to price action. But even here, you've got this trend, break a trend. Now we're trying to test this low. Went back to pre-market. You had an overshoot, push down, then came back to the overshoot. Typically means it's going to overshoot the other way. So it overshot the trend line here and really pushed down farther than it should have here. Because if you copy and paste that, that's kind of the bottom of that trend, but that could be a midline. Either way, you're overshooting the trend. So That's why you probably got the sharp move up, and we might not test this bottom. This trend line, it stayed in, went down, pushed, broke it, trying to test. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I like the trend line from the pre-market, I think the best. All right, we're getting a push up. I like watching the ES. This is the daily ES, or 15-minute ES over here. I like watching those. I've got a 5-minute ES as well. And you'll see me trading the ES in some other videos. And I go back and forth sometimes between the two. When you're trying to figure out what markets to trade, just do what works for you. Some markets move slower. The Nasdaq's probably the fastest market to trade. But when you're scalping, and what made me kind of move to Nasdaq this past week, really, I was thinking about it over the weekend, is I'm using 1 or 2 contracts, and so with that size, the Nasdaq, you can make a lot with just one contract and make it pretty fast. So scalping 1 or 2 contracts, as you can see, I'm up 890 on the day, so it works pretty good. The ES is wonderful too. I mean, it trades great, but I think, the way I look at it, to make what I'm making with 1 or 2 contracts on the NASDAQ, you need to trade 2 or 4 on the ES, which is fine. I mean, you can bump it down to 1 or 2 contracts on the ES and be a little more conservative. But I'm going to wrap things up, and I hope you guys enjoyed the live trading. Caught a few good trades for y'all. We're up on the Apex account. I'm at 52,142, so up after commissions, 834 on the day. I need to make another $868, so I might as well say $900 to pass this combine. And when I do, you guys are going to know about it. Hopefully we'll get to share a little bit of live trading tomorrow as well. But I do want to say thank you. We're over 1,000 subscribers. And to those of you that subscribe and watch my videos, I really appreciate it. Just getting started. Got a lot more coming. So hang in there and keep watching. Thank you guys. Be patient. Be profitable.